welcome to another Rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. For this Rambling review, we're going to talk about Karate Kid Legends, the latest film in the Karate Kid franchise. Now, Karate Kid Legends stars Ben Wong as Li Fong. He is a student of Kung Fu in Beijing, studying under his great uncle's tutelage, who is played by Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is reprising his role from the 2010, I believe it was, Karate Kid movie. Lee's mother arrives at the Kung Fu dojo and informs Lee and Mr. Han that they are going to be moving to New York. She has taken a position there in New York City. It is alluded to, but is not discussed directly at this point in the film, but there was some sort of tragedy that happened to the family fairly recently, and it is a way for them to restart their lives. And so Lee moves with his mother to New York City. Lee gets adjusted to his life as a high school student here in New York City, and as part of the agreement for moving there, he has agreed to give up fighting, any sort of fighting at all. But he has a very difficult time doing that, not because he's trying to start any fights or anything like that, but he is attacked by a local bully who is also the local teenage martial arts champion 3 years running. Lee, he falls in love with this girl who works at this pizza shop around the corner, and long story short, Lee ends up becoming embroiled in a conflict between the bully, and it ends up in a showdown for this fight called the Five Boroughs Championship, which is like supposed to be the New York City Martial Arts Championship for youth, and it's a showdown on top of a skyscraper in New York City. Personally, I really enjoyed Karate Kid Legends. The movie, I will say, it does have some flaws. The film feels a lot like really one film with kind of a haphazard, rushed ending at the end. The first act of the movie is excellent. The build-up, the kind of character building, the story setting things up. It gets a little bit muddied in the center part of the movie, the second act, which involves the girl who Lee is in love with, her father, who owns the pizzeria, trying to make a comeback in boxing. He was a professional boxer, and there's a bit of tragedy that happens there. And then the last act just feels very, very rushed. The build-up to the championship, it doesn't give enough build-up to the actual fight, the climactic scene in the championship. In the previous Karate Kid movies with Ralph Macchio portraying Daniel LaRusso, there were several points in the movies leading up to the conflict between LaRusso and whoever his antagonist was. There was minor skirmishes along the way. There was these build-ups until that point. That does not happen here in this movie. There's really only a couple of times where Li Fong comes into contact with the antagonist, Connor, once on the subway, once later on at school. But that's it. That's really the only build-up to that point. There aren't a lot of other confrontations between the two. That left more to be desired, especially in that final act. And then also the tournament itself, it goes by rather quickly, very quickly. There's no actual build-up with that either, because you already know it's going to be at the end, come down between Li Fong and his arch nemesis, Connor. That's what it's going to be. So those are kind of the weaknesses of the film. With that said, I really like this movie. Yes, it has some weaknesses, but it's a fun film. It has a throwbacks, of course, to Karate Kid. I mean, the general setup is very similar to the setup of the original Karate Kid movie. A single mother and her son. Character of Li Fong, I really liked that. I really liked his character. To be honest, I would like to see more of him. It'd be cool to see another Karate Kid movie with Li Fong. Too, it'd be interesting to see how they tie in the greater Karate Kid universe, Cobra Kai. For those of you who have watched the Cobra Kai series, at the very, very end of the movie, there is a tie-in to the Cobra Kai TV series, and this is a part of that. It ties it all together, this larger Karate Kid universe. I think they've done this really well. They've done a good job of combining those things, combining the element of what was supposed to be originally the Karate Kid movie with Jackie Chan as Mr. Han. That movie was kind of like a reboot, a relaunch of the franchise, but in a different direction. That has been incorporated now in the larger Karate Kid universe. And Cobra Kai, the television series, is a part of this. Those characters are still there. They're out doing their own things. They could come back at some point. Maybe there'll be a bigger movie with them in the future. Who knows? I enjoyed this film a lot. If you like the Karate Kid movies, if you like kind of action movies, it's a good time. And even if there would not be another Karate Kid movie or, a Karate Kid series or anything like that, this is a good Karate Kid movie. It stands well on its own as a movie, but it also connects to everything that came before. And if it would be the last part of this franchise, it actually works well as a conclusion too, in all honesty. If you like Karate Kid, if you like 80s movies, you want to watch a movie that's just an enjoyable movie to watch just for the fun of it, go see Karate Kid Legends. This has been another Rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. Until next time, that's a wrap.